And we're back here on Inside the Ropes, and I'm here with a man that used to be my friend. His name's Drew. He was going to come last night to my show. I was doing my first show in North America with Paul Heyman, the Advocate. Paul was looking forward to seeing him. And what happened, Drew? What happened?
I fell asleep. I was very excited for Kenny. You know, he took a chance on himself. You know, I know something about that. He went out there, really, you know, put everything on the line, started succeeding, really was kicking out of the park in the UK, and then he had the show with Heyman, and I sent him a message just a couple of days before telling him how proud I was, and I wanted to be there as a friend and, you know, show my support physically. But also, I've not been very well over the weekend, and I had a bunch of stuff because it is WrestleMania week, and I'm very busy, and I lay down at 9 p.m, closed my eyes for 1 second, and woke up at 4:30. Also, Sheamus is over there. Ask him. He was buzzing me at like 11, trying to get me out, and everyone was trying to phone me, and they couldn't get hold of me because I was passed out.
I have a way that we can make it better. You can make it up to me. You can just answer me one honest question, and then when you give me that answer, we're fine.
Okay.
Are you debuting on Raw or SmackDown? I tell you what.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You whisper the day to me, right? And then in post, we can like tell people when you have debuted, you've told me the right one.
Okay. I don't know. I honestly don't know. They don't tell me things because they don't trust me, because they know I do a lot of ad-libbing. You can see I'm very all over the place when I talk, and they just worry that it's going to slip out of my mouth, I guess. But all I can say is I got injured in November. They told me 6 months, and I was like, all right, 6 months, screw that. I'm not taking 6 months. I looked at my phone. I was Googling as they were wrapping my arm, athletes who have come back from this same injury and how quick they did it. I saw somebody had done it in less than 4, and I said, okay, I'm going to be back for WrestleMania time. I went into the same rehab place as John Cena in Tampa and said, basically, give me the works, give me the Cena. What did he do to get back so quick? 2 rehabs a day, while training at his gym, 3 times a day. I did that for 2.5 straight months. Never saw the wife at all. I've been busting my ass. It's Mania week, and I'm looking for a doctor to do this weekend because I've worked very hard, and I feel like I'm at a level I've never been at in my entire life.
There's a buzz about you. There's a buzz about you, and you know, there's always been a buzz in the UK, but there's a buzz in the US now, and there's a lot of guys like Hall and Nash, and all these kind of, you know, older guys in the States who are kind of said, this Drew guy, like he's a guy that like in the 80s and the 90s would have been on top and stuff like that. So people, it seemed, and I think Triple H has said great things about you in interviews as well. It seems like the sky is the limit for you. Do you feel like you're at this point now where, do you want to go back to NXT, or do you kind of feel like, I want to go to Raw or SmackDown now, or are you just like, wherever you put me, I'll knock it out of the park?
Yeah, I mean, that's my mentality, is wherever you put me, I'll knock it out of the park. I honestly feel like I've got more to do in NXT. You know, when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, there's unfinished business. You know, there's a lot, there's built-in storylines, like, you know, everything's ready to go more or less, like there's redemption, whatever else. There's a lot to do there. With NXT, I felt like, you know, I was traveling the world before, as you know. I was representing many companies. I was trying to grow those companies. I became kind of a franchise player across the world for different companies, and I felt with NXT that's a part of WWE that I could actually help, and I could, you know, become perhaps a franchise player there, because Raw and SmackDown, that's WWE. The wheel's going to keep turning no matter what. The name's going to sell it, but I really feel like, you know, I have a lot to give to NXT, and if I get the opportunity to go back there and finish, you know, some business with Alma, since he ripped my bicep off, it was the only way he could beat me for the title, and finish off that, or maybe a match with Aleister Black and reignite, you know, or a feud from Europe, or there's a few guys there I'd like to wrestle. But either way, wherever you put me, like you say, I will knock it out of the park, and eventually when it comes time to go back to Raw or SmackDown, you know, there's a lot to show the world that, you know, I wasn't in a position to show the first time, let's say, but I am the man I hope, like Vince always wanted me to be, let's say.
And last 2 questions. Favourite WrestleMania match as a fan in history? What was, if you were going to show somebody who hasn't watched any WrestleManias, watch this match. This is the WrestleMania match. What one would you pick?
Taker shot.
And if you can give me one, because you're obviously going to be a part of WrestleMania, whether it's this Sunday as a surprise or next year, whatever year it is, you're going to be there. What is the WrestleMania match you want to have?
Main event. I mean, it's as simple as that, I guess. Like, like next year or whatever, whenever I get the opportunity to be part of it, you know, my goal is to be part of something significant with substance. You know, that's my initial goals, but obviously the long-term goal is main event as many WrestleManias as possible. Like, I'm 32 right now. I've been at this my entire life. I've worked very, very hard to grow as a, you know, performer, a businessman, and just as a man, as a representative of the company. And I feel like I'm in a position now, physically and mentally, that you can give me the ball and trust me with it. And at 32, not in my 40s like everybody thinks, I've been around so long. Like, I'm really ready for it all. So I'm excited with the future may bring.
And can you just make a promise for us, you know, people watching here on Inside the Ropes, the Daily Record, you're going to try at least at some point that we get a Scottish pay-per-view with you on top, right?
100%. It's going to happen. I mean, it's not a case of when or if, it's a case of when. Let me get that right. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. I'm really excited. Like it's like early in the morning. I had so much sleep last night.
A lot of sleep. Didn't go to him last night. So he's had a lot of sleep. He might be part of WrestleMania. He might be on Raw. He's going to be on Raw SmackDown. He's just not telling us. Drew, a pleasure as always.
I like your talk.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our WrestleMania coverage. Stay tuned for more interviews, clips, news updates, and much, much more. Also, stay tuned to our Twitter @inside_the ropes for more of what we've got coming up in the future.